Welcome to our Bellroy Via Backpack review. If you're looking for a super minimalist, yet trendy, everyday backpack for the office or school, that's what the Via is bringing to the table. So I'm gonna run through everything you need to know to find out whether or not it's the bag for you. And if it's not, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end, where I'm gonna make some alternative recommendations for bags that are similar to this, but also a little bit different. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the gist of the Bellroy Via Backpack. It's clean, it's minimalist, it's just so frickin' Bellroy. And if you don't know who Bellroy is, they come from Australia, and clean, minimalist, trendy, but functional, that's kind of what they do. This bag is specifically made for people who get done. Great office bag, great bag for university, but with a couple of cons that you do need to be aware of. The style is Bellroy's typical quirky urban style, very modern, very minimalist, but doesn't take itself too seriously. The materials are top notch. On the black version, we have a ripstop nylon on the exterior, PU coated YKK zips, and metal hardware. The size is 20 liters, which in my opinion is perfect for everyday carry. As of recording, it comes in 4 different color options. This is the black. This is the bag when it's flattened empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on me. And we're gonna pack out this main compartment throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Bellroy products are backed by their 3-year warranty against manufacturing defects. And the price for the Via bag is around 130 USD. And if at any point in this review you're thinking to yourself, holy moly, I love that backpack, I'm getting one. We do ask that you do so using the first link in the description. And the reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we often have discount codes. But also, that link helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel, which we greatly appreciate. Thank you so much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Bellroy Via Backpack. First up, branding. Bellroy subtle branding, nothing too loud. The black on black is subtle. I have heard though that this sort of like embossed branding does sort of maybe come off over time. So your Bellroy might end up turning into an Elroy. Sounds like a distant land of the elves. But this material, I'm a big fan. Now, 2 things to note. First of all, Bellroy is a little mysterious about what materials are used on what bags. They just have sort of like one landing page with all their materials listed on it. But also, it looks like each color of the Via uses a different material. So I can't speak for the other materials and the other colors, but the black is using this ripstop nylon, which I think looks kind of cool and robust, while still providing durability and being a lot more lightweight than some of the other materials that you see on the market, like ballistic nylon. And overall, the front is sort of dominated by this material. Not a lot of pockets until we get to the top up here, where we have this sort of quick access pocket. Bellroy has been embracing these YKK glossed PU coated zippers, which I think sort of add to that quirky urban aesthetic that Bellroy is so famous for. Like this external material, the PU coated zippers are highly weather resistant, but the PU coating does require a little bit extra to kind of open it. And that's what these zipper pullers are for, just kind of give you a little bit extra leverage. And once you're in, you can see it's a very basic pocket. It's only about yay deep. It uses this beautiful material. There's not a lot of space, which is why it's meant for your sunglasses. So you can pop your shades there and keep them easily and quickly accessible. That's it on the front. Let's talk about the middle of the Bellroy Via Backpack. One thing to note, notice on either side, we are lacking external water bottle holders. That you hear right there, that's the noise of half the people watching this review leaving. Because a lot of backpack enthusiasts or just people want external access to their water bottle holders, which I understand, this is not that bag. But stick around to the end. I'll give you some alternative recommendations for Bellroy bags that do have the water bottles and such. Just stick around. Aside from that though, we have the access to the main compartment. Glossed YKK PU coated zippers, but one thing to note about this bag, it's not a top loader, it's not a full clamshell opening, it's kind of like a half loader. I think it's kind of cool. Now, normally I prefer bags that give you better access to the main compartment. Like think like a full clamshell. Zips come all the way down to here, and then you can go full open, right? But Bellroy added this sort of like foldy feature that a lot of bags don't typically have. I'll be honest, for me, I would have much preferred if they just took this down a little bit further or maybe even all the way. I don't see why they couldn't. There's no water bottle holders. They're making a statement. They're like, this bag does this, which I think this is cool and it works, but it just makes access to the bottom a little bit more compromised. Not the end of the world, but something to keep in mind. Let's talk about the front side. First thing to note is these beautiful creamy interior colors. Obviously the interior colors will vary depending on the exterior colors. These creamy colors are bad in one way because the lightness means that they might get dirty quicker, but they're good because they help to create a beautiful aesthetic and a highlight effect, which makes it easier to find your gear, especially when you're in a darker environment. Now notice right here, we have this angled zipper on the top. This is actually a really cool design choice by Bellroy. Because what they did, they said, listen, we don't care if you're accessing your stuff while the backpack is standing upright, or you're utilizing our foldy feature thing. The angled cut makes it less likely for your gear to fall out of this pocket when you're opening it, regardless of the position. It's a very subtle design choice, but very intentional, and I love it. The mesh itself, super high quality power mesh, very elasticy, very silky. Mesh is great because it helps you sort of have a see-through effect, right? So you can sort of see what gear is where. And then in here we have a key ring holder. Pretty basic. Not my favorite location for a key ring holder. I prefer my keys to be more accessible. Now if I want to grab my keys, I gotta take my bag off, put it down, unzip the main compartment, unzip the cool diagonal zipper thing, grab this. It's not even long enough. I probably wouldn't put my keys here. But if you don't mind having limited or less access to your keys, you can definitely put them there, along with a few other things. I'm gonna throw some tissues in there, my AirPods. This is definitely not a backpack for quick access, right? Like I like my AirPods to be able to grab them quite easily. Same thing with my keys, but these are gonna be tucked away, which might be a deal breaker for some of y'all. But if not, they'll at least be safe in this area. Main compartment, not too much to talk about. It is 20 liters. Because of limited access, it has some depth to it, which might be hard to grab. But if you got bigger, bulkier things, this is actually a perfect setup. So you can see right here, if your everyday carry sort of looks like this, I got a big old down jacket, big water bottle, bulky headphones, and another like tech cord pouch, then this is a great bag because you're not gonna need to open it up all the way, right? The bulky stuff's in the bottom. It's really well organized. You can grab what you need when you need it. That's sort of what this bag is made for. It's when you have like smaller things, you got a little snack, right? It falls to the bottom, then finding that snack might be a bit more challenging, right? That's sort of what the give and the take is with this build. On the back side, we have the laptop compartment, big enough for a 16-inch laptop, so my 13-inch MacBook Pro fits quite nicely. A few notes on the laptop compartment. One, it's very well padded on the front and the back, so your laptop is safe. And this is like a soft microfiber material, so it helps just kind of keep your laptop even extra safe. We've also got a little bit of a false bottom, which helps when you do one of those, right? But as you fill out the main compartment, the laptop will be increasingly more difficult to take out of this laptop sleeve. That's why a lot of like super serious, like hardcore laptop warriors, such as myself, prefer like a separate laptop compartment. A little extra secure and a little extra accessible, which is why, I don't know if you know, but I'm actually building my own backpack. That's right, I've reviewed 300 plus bags on here on the channel. I decided to make my own, and my own bag is gonna have its own laptop compartment, along with a ton of other next level features. So if you wanna see what it's like for me to build a game-changing backpack, I'm actually building the whole thing in public, and you can follow my journey with the second link in the description. That link will tell you more about the project, and it'll give you the option to vote on some of the key features of the bag that I'm making. It's a totally cool project, I'm having a blast, and I hope that you'll be a part of it. But ultimately, it's a good laptop holder, it gets the job done, and if you want, you can go ahead and slide a pen through there, so you have a pen there. You can see you wanna throw a couple more pouches in there. It can definitely pack a punch. Now, we are full. But super minimalist, right? It's just those two compartments. Main compartment, top glasses pocket, and that's it. I just feel that they could have put a water bottle holder here, no problem. It was a very conscious decision for them not to. Let me know your thoughts below. Should they have put a water bottle holder here? I feel like they should have. Let's talk about the back of the Bellroy Via Backpack. First up, top handle. Pretty basic, gets the job done. It's a little tight, right? The grabbing space, not so much, but you're not gonna be carrying your backpack in tote mode too often. This is great for hanging your backpack. Nice quality mesh, moving on. But now let's talk about the comfort of the Bellroy Via Backpack. There's a few points that you need to be aware of. First of all, it's really comfortable, but like, I don't know if it's the ultimate comfortable backpack. Let's start with the shoulder straps. I love the padding that Bellroy has implemented here, right? Because really when it comes to comfort, you got two things. Ventilation for air and breathability, and padding for comfort, right? And Bellroy has upped their padding game on these shoulder straps, and I actually think they got a really nice comfortable feel to them, especially in comparison to some of their other bags that I reviewed that were less padded and, in my opinion, less comfortable. I don't need like big, bulky, beefy straps like air straps. I do love those for ultimate comfort, but for a 20-liter backpack, I think something like this absolutely gets the job done. But one thing to note is like Bellroy's like, yo, let's make this really cool, sexy sort of cut on the shoulder straps. God, it looks cool and sexy. But that's where you might see it or feel a little less comfort, especially if you're packing this thing out really packed out. And you got a lot of weight because then the shoulder straps might cut into your shoulders a little bit more. There's no sternum strap, there's no waist strap, right? So these shoulder straps are really important, but the straps are super minimalist, super clean, no other junk going on here. Yet again, this backpack knows exactly what it is. And on the back panel, and I do like the material that's used here. It's kind of like a spandex material minus the elasticity, and that extends to the back panel as well. It's not gonna be the most comfortable comfortable because I think that we're not dealing with the most ventilation we could possibly have here. Not a bad thing, not a good thing. It depends on your personal preferences. But if you are in a super hot location and you want a bag that provides a ton of airflow, this is not gonna be the ton of airflow bag. This is gonna be the maybe little bit of airflow bag. Moving down south, we have metal hardware. I love this hardware because it offers a little bit more of a premium feel without compromising the durability. And then lower, we have dangle stoppers, which keep this excess web nylon in its place. Ooh, and one more note about the shoulder straps comfort is they have like this sort of like system where we have this like excess flap at the top, which allows the shoulder strap to have a little bit more movement, right? So it doesn't matter if you have a wider chest or a more narrow chest, whatever your body type is, Bellroy's choice of doing that just gives the shoulder straps a little bit more movement to fit your body type. Let's talk pros and the cons of the Bellroy Via Backpack. Pro number one, super clean look. God, you're sexy. Pro number two, fantastic materials. And pro number three, I think that the folding opening system is very innovative and very functional. But I got a few cons, here they are. Con number one is going to be limited access to the laptop. Con number two is lack of water bottle holders. And con number three is that while it's comfortable, it's not going to be the most ventilated everyday carry bag. But if you're still here and you're like, Aaron, those cons mean nothing to me. I love this bag, I'm gonna buy one. And you're gonna make a purchase, we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. That link right there. Reason being, that link makes sure that you have the best price, and sometimes we have discount codes. And that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel, which we greatly appreciate. But you also might not be completely sold. If so, let me give you what you're looking for, some alternative recommendations that might better suit your needs. Alternative recommendation number one is going to be the Bellroy Melbourne Backpack. This will be for you if you're looking for Bellroy's quirky urban style, but that external water bottle holder is really important to you. Bellroy and external water bottle holders usually don't go hand in hand. It's not their thing, but this is one of the few Bellroys that does actually have it, and it's a great bag. And to learn more about the Melbourne Backpack, go ahead and navigate down to the description below, and you'll find a link to our full review. Alternative recommendation number two is going to be the Bellroy Transit Workpack. This will be for you if you really want your laptop to sort of be extra protected and secure and accessible in its own compartment. That's what the Bellroy Transit Workpack brings to the table. And to learn more about it, just check the description below and you'll find a link to our full review. And alternative recommendation number three, I'm actually gonna recommend watching a roundup of our best bags for work. This roundup will show you a ton of different brands offering their best backpacks for work and university. And you can watch that right here. And if you have any questions about the Bellroy Via Backpack, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I personally respond to every single one myself. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation. We'll catch you next time.